Okay, so yeah, I've decided to make a video answering all the questions anyone ever asks people with dreadlocks, because as anyone with dreads will know, you get asked a lot of similar questions and you have a pretty good answer by after about 8 years. So yeah, the first question I thought people asked the most was, how do you wash dreadlocks? You do, for a start. A lot of people think you don't. I use a special shampoo from America. The website I go on for stuff is deadheadhq. It's an American site, and the shampoo basically doesn't have any residues in it, so it doesn't make your hair smell good, or it doesn't leave anything to make it look shiny. But that's good, because dreads are pretty natural. They rely on your natural oils and stuff. When you first get dreads, you need to wash them every few days, because the shampoo helps them knot off a bit. The best advice I ever got, actually, pretty funny, was to put a pair of tights on your head when you're washing them when they're younger. It kind of stops them, stops any of the hard work you've done coming undone, and it looks really funny too. Make sure you don't tell anyone until about years later when you're not using tights anymore, because they will try and find you when you have tights on your head. So yeah, currently after 8 years of having dreads, pretty much anyway, I wash them about every 2 weeks, or just if they need it, like if they smell, obviously wash them. Dreads soak up smell like a sponge, so if you're at a party and people are smoking, you'll want to wash them the next day, or just whack a hat on while they're smoking and you'll be fine. Obviously it's really important to rinse them properly to get all the suds out, because that's bad for them. The actual technique for washing them is like this, and then you keep doing it until the lather builds up, and then other advice: don't stick a hat on when they're wet. Make sure they're free to the air, and because if you stick a hat on, they're going to smell damp. You can use a hairdryer, but that smells funny, and it's not as natural, and dreads people like natural things. Anyway, yeah, that's the first question. Hope you like. Okay, next question is, how do you get dreads in the first place? So basically you do a ton of research, think about it for a long time, and try and get some advisory wisdom from your parents, because if you can get to the other side of your parents going, oh my god, you're gonna look really weird, then you definitely deserve to get them. And then you look at the site www.deadheadhq.com /make dreadlocks. That pretty much took me through how to do it physically and normally. So in basics, you section the hair into little squares, then you put a little bobble at the top. You either section them randomly or in lines, depending on what you want to look like. And then with wax and a comb, these are my original little gadgets. The comb has to be really thick so it can deal with lots of strain. So you need the proper comb. Anyway, you start back combing each section, so it's kind of like if you imagine this wasn't a dread already, you're kind of going like this. It shows you on the website, shows you someone doing it, but to be honest, if you're doing it yourself, you get the hang of it after about the 5th dread. You get the knack. Last time I did it, it took me probably about 20-30 minutes per dreadlock, but then I was doing someone's dreads who had really, really long hair, and I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so it kind of depends how much of a head start you want. Once the whole head is done, you go over each one with some wax, like this. You kind of go like this. It's quite painful when you're first doing it, because you've been pulling their scalp all day, but just a pea-sized amount for each dread, and yeah, it kind of sticks it all together for you, but you don't want to end up with greasy rat's tail, so don't put on too much. Next you kind of fold the end, imagine that's hair, I don't have that, you fold the end around on itself and stick a bobble on it, and that starts the bottoms knotting up as well. And then from then on, tender loving care will help your dreads look good. What you mustn't do is get too attached to wearing a hat. I have a thing against hats. A lot of people wear hats or stick their dreads in a massive ponytail, but to be honest, that just makes them kind of get lumpy and smelly, and they won't dread as quickly or in a straighter line. So wear them down around the house as much as you can if you don't like wearing them down normally. What I usually wear is like a bandana thing that kind of goes here, so it keeps them out your face but it doesn't change the shape of your dreads. And yeah, that's my little summary of how you get them, but do check out the website. I'm totally plugging for them right now, but that site has helped me out in the last 8 years so much, so I don't care. Yeah, that's the end of question 2. Okay, so question 3 is a bit of a random one. What do you do about sports when you've got dreadlocks? Basically, don't let them stop you do anything. Personally, I don't go swimming with dreadlocks because chlorine isn't oh so natural, and I don't want them in my dreads. It's pretty hard to get out. Plus the looks you get in public swimming pools with dreadlocks is pretty bad, seeing as people don't know how clean they actually are. If you love swimming though, don't fear, because there is an alternative: the ocean. Dreads love salty goodness. A dip in the sea once a year is what I would advise, because you actually leave the sea having had a good paddle and your head weighing an absolute ton, but then your dreads are twice as knotty as they were before, so do that. If you're doing a sport that makes you all sweaty, wash them. Everyone else does. There's no reason we shouldn't. You don't want to smell horrible. Yeah, so general hygiene basically. Cool, next question. Okay, the final question. How do you get rid of them? Now this is the question people worry about, because if you get them, you're going to have to get rid of them one day. Not too terrifying though. Guys tend to shave them off because it's easier, and yeah, guys can do that. Personally, I'm going to be cutting them off in about a week, and hence the little short bits at the side, because I went a bit insane a week ago. I don't usually look like this. I'm going to cut them about 4 inches from my scalp, and then soak them in tons of conditioner, which my hair hasn't seen for a while, and then try and brush them out. This will be painful and it'll take a while, but my sister's going to help me, so it'll be fine. This will take longer, but if you want more hair to work with afterwards, it's a good idea. The younger the dreads are, obviously, the easier they are to brush out. What I want to say is, in the first few months after you get dreadlocks, if you're planning on ditching them because they look like rat's tails, do stick with them for a few more months, because they will turn into nice dreadlocks eventually. You just need to be patient and stick with it, because they'll look increasingly awesome over time, and you just, yeah, it's so worth it. Yeah, so plugging right now, I'm cutting off my dreadlocks next Friday for charity, the charity Lessons for Life. They fund education in developing countries. Check out the website, I'll post it below the video. If you'd like to sponsor me, go to my online fundraising site, www.everyclick.com/DADE-dread. Oh, I'll just post the link below, shall I? But yeah, I'm terrified, so please donate. Hopefully I'll raise a good amount of money. I'm going to post a video of cutting them off, obviously. And yeah, if you have any other questions, just ask and I'll make a little extra video. So yeah, hope that's okay. Good luck with your dreadification if you're thinking of it, and if not, please don't ask me questions anymore. Thank you.